Hey guys, you're catching me in my office today, but today we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic, and it's a question I get asked all the time. How do I make more money? Today we're going to be looking at a few strategies that are not impossible for anybody to do and will definitely increase how much you make every month. Stay tuned. So the question today is, how do I make more money? Really and truthfully, the money game, especially when you're first starting out, sits on two different pillars. One of them is how much you can make, and the second is how much you spend. In a previous video where I talk about manage our expenses, I really dive deep into that whole concept of managing your expenses. So today, let's figure out how we can create more cash coming in every month. Don't you hate it when you discover that you got more month than money? Oh, it's terrible. So today we're going to be talking about three distinct ways you can increase your monthly income. And stay tuned to the very end because I do have a bonus tip, which is, in my opinion, a true game changer. So stay tuned. First and foremost, the one commodity that we do have in the beginning is time. And at least I hope we have lots of time. If we are short on time, you got bigger problems. But if you got lots of time, and I'm assuming you do, then time is not an asset that you're lean on, but cash is. So we have to get into a place where we're exchanging our time for money. And that's what a job is, you know? The trick here is, in the first tip, it's important for us to make ourselves worth as much as we can per hour. I hate using the term per hour, but per job maybe, or per task or whatever. But to make things simple, per hour. We want to go from earning $10 or $20 an hour to earning $50 an hour or $100 an hour, or I dare say $1,000 an hour. And it's possible. So how do we do that? A couple quick ways that you can start earning more money per hour. Doesn't require you to go back to university for 3 years or to take some crazy course. What it requires you to do is to look at your job and discover, am I making the most that I can where I'm working right now, like right here, right now? Or if I walked across the street and worked for the competitor, will I make more over there? I hate to say it, guys, but in today's day and age, it does come down to the one who's willing to pay the most gets the best people. And you have to remember that. If you're a good person and you're really good at what you do, then look, to across the street. I call it looking left and looking right. Look to see what's available to you when you look left or when you look right. You might find that a local competitor can give you more money per hour, whereas your personal job doesn't. Why is that? It's a mystery of life, and I just don't know why. People come comfortable with how much they're paying you, and you can go to your boss, and this is a valid thing you can do too. Go to your boss and see, hey, boss, you're paying me $20 an hour, but I really like to make $24 an hour. What do you think? He might just say yes, and immediately you've increased your income by $8,000 a year. A really quick little tip here, you can take whatever hourly rate you have, double it, so let's say 4, turn it into 8, and throw a few zeros on it, and now you've got your yearly increase, or it's close. But the second thing you want to do is to increase your hourly rate is to get more training. Really, really though, be laser focused on what you do for training. Don't necessarily think, oh, I've got my bachelor's, if I go get my master's, this is the way to go. It might be, but it might not be. And you have to be very, very sure of that particular point. You want to make sure whatever training you take is the best. Let me give you an example. When I was a younger man, I was still working in the military, and I was taking a bunch of university courses. I was working towards my Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. But then one day I sat down and I thought, gee, I wonder, when I'm done all this, what is it really worth? Like, what kind of jobs can I get? How much is it worth? Is it worth my while? I was very shocked when I found out, coming into the industry with a fresh degree in my hand, how much I'd make. Yes, over time I could make more, but I had to look at, what are my results now? What is my result? What What does sacrificing all this time, energy, and money gonna buy me when I'm done? That's what's important. And I looked at it and realized that it wasn't gonna buy me much more. Now, on the other hand, I started looking at industry certifications, and I looked at what was very popular at the time, what it was worth, and how much I could start earning out of the gates, and discovered I could earn much, much more. I ended up dropping out of university at that moment in time, and I went and took this course. Wow, you know, within 6 weeks of getting certified, I went from earning one amount and I literally doubled it. I have never forgotten that, and I've continued to always get more and more and more education. So if you don't know something, know it and make sure it's going to be useful to you. The second thing I'm going to say to you is look for other opportunities. Now, everybody gets the chance on other opportunities. Just because you have a full-time job, just don't go, oh, it's 5 o'clock and I'm going to go home and I'm going to put my feet up and rest. Look for other opportunities. I'm not asking you to work like a slave, but the people who really do well and really knock it out of the park are the ones who are willing to sacrifice a little bit of their personal time. Now, this includes family members who can join in. And a good example, my wife is an avid quilter, and she felt that it was not really a big money-making opportunity. Maybe she should go work for Walmart or something like that. And I said, no, get really good at your craft. Hone in on it, become an expert in that. And she has, and she brings in probably about $1,000 of extra revenue every month just doing odd jobs here and there doing quilting. Again, adds to the bottom line. But secondarily, even if it's just you yourself, then look at other opportunities. I was offered an opportunity where the fellow who presented it to me trusted me and trusted my skill set, and then I built this program for them. They were thrilled because they got exactly what they wanted, and I was thrilled because I made an extra chunk of change by sacrificing a little bit of my time. Now, but the real important thing here to remember is you just don't earn more money doing these secondary tasks to go spend it. You want to save it. You want to put it into a long-term savings vehicle. Whether you're paying debt off or you're putting it into savings or a bit of both, that's what you want to do. You have to realize that this money can be 100% yours, because let's just assume you don't have any real expenses that need to be paid on a monthly basis on this extra money you're earning. If it is, then that's the way it is. But if it's not, don't just go and spend the money, because now you're working so hard, you're not getting any benefit from it. Because my bonus tip is going to talk about this extra money at the very end. I think the takeaway here is, for the second tip, look for opportunities you can apply your hand to. Now, when looking for other opportunities, this is something very specific, but it does become the point 3 for this talk. And that is, look for opportunities to document your process. What I mean by that is write it out. There's so many great pieces of software out there that are free, for crying out loud, that you can document your processes. One of the things that I do to increase my efficiency and to make me worth more is every time I'm doing something, I'm a programmer by trade, I document exactly what I did. I document code snippets. I document what it looks like. I document problems I ran into. That becomes worth something to somebody. But you can take that even further. A good example was a number of years ago, this was before I had really become a programmer, I had picked up a package that showed me how to do web automation. And it was a pretty cool package. I really liked it. But I was really struggling in the beginning, and I kept forgetting how to do things. So I thought, you know something? When I figure out how to do something, I'm going to document this. And this is one of the first exercises I did on documentation. And what I did was I created a video. I used a piece of software called Camtasia. Yes, it is a paid-for piece of software, but it's very worthwhile. I screen recorded exactly what I did and made like a living record, and I did it for me more than anything else in the beginning. So that way I could go back and look at it, and I thought, yeah, you know, maybe other people will find this useful. So I stuck it up on YouTube, and I did it again, and I did it again. Every time I figured out a new process, I made a video and I stuck it up on YouTube. And I wasn't even thinking anything about it, to be honest with you. I wasn't trying to become this YouTube mogul or anything like that. I was just documenting what I knew. And so that way I can go back and look at my own video and go, That's how I do it. That's because I'd forget. My memory is really good, but it's really short. Anyhow, what I would do is I would document those processes. And a weird thing happened. Other people did find those videos useful. Moreover, they only didn't find them useful. They started contacting me saying, gee, you really know how to use this package, and I'm really struggling. Would you be willing to train me? And I'll pay you to train me. So, well, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And they'd be happy and I'd be happy because I made a few extra bucks on these videos that I was not intending to make. And I was able to help somebody else. And it kind of felt kind of good, actually. You know, it was kind of part of the reason why I posted them as well. Secondarily, what happened was the actual company that created the software reached out to me and said, hey, we really want you to be our spokesperson on all our training videos. And basically, I created all their video content and got paid handsomely for this. Now, a weird thing happened out of that. Not only did people see me as an expert in the software, they saw me as the authority in the software because I was the representative speaking about the software for the actual company. You can see what's happening here. All of a sudden, I had a whole bunch of people reaching out to me. Hey, would you like to do a joint venture on building this piece of software? Hey, we want you to contract you to write the software. Hey, you know, and my phone rang off the hook. With that, I made a lot of money with that particular deal. And it was something that just because I took my time and actually wrote the process down, I made a record in video, it made all the difference in the world. So there you go, there's your first three. Before we go to the bonus point, if you're finding value in this video, take a second, subscribe, like the video. It just gives this channel so much love. I appreciate that, and if you do, that's awesome. And I promise to try to get more great content out to you every day. But to wrap up this video, let's talk about a bonus point. And to me, this is a real game changer. Remember in point number 1, I was talking about creating a money reserve. No matter what we're doing here, we want to create a money reserve. We are creating what I call active income. We have to actively work and trade our time, trade our resources for this income. Now, what I want you to do is start building a passive wealth stream, a passive income. And a passive income is one that generates cash without you trading time, money, and resources. You've basically invested your financial capital into it and you're getting return on it. Now, there's lots of different ways to do it. It could be something as simple as saving your money in a savings account. You can, once you've saved $1,000, you can open up, let's say, a Wealthsimple account and invest into stocks or ETFs or whatever you want. The cool thing about it is I started investing into a Wealthsimple account about 2 years ago. Just by taking all the strategies I'm talking about in this video, I went from being broke to making way, way, way more, which is pretty incredible. But not only that, I was able to save all the extra, and it made such a difference. I was literally able to save over $100,000 in about 14 months. Now, this account is generating $800 a month in returns. It's completely passive income. Now, am I spending it? Absolutely not. I'm continuing to put money into that account, but I'm also allowing that $800 a month to keep raising the value by buying more stocks, more ETFs, buying more resources in that account. And there's lots of great videos if you decide to open up a Questrade or a Wealthsimple account if you're in Canada. There you go. There's our main 3 and our bonus. Think about it, but don't only think about it, put it into action, because action's where it has to be. You got to put things into action. Don't be afraid of failing. It's all a part of the game. It's all part. You know, I've always said failure is the stepping stones to success. Don't be afraid to fail. Just give it a try. Thank you for listening. Check out the video that I posted in the description, which you should see right beside me right now. It talks about the other side of the equation, and that is managing your expenses. Another great video. Be sure to check it out. Frank Thomas, have an awesome day.